My name's Gigi Jacobs. You can call me the Dynamic Liberal, or you can call me whatever you want. Anyways, I'm here to bring you some highlights from the day. I'm going to turn this down in a second. I'm dealing with some limited technical abilities at the moment, but I want you to know some important things took place today. First of all, there was a back down from the very, very strong military stance that was taking place in the city of Ferguson, where the young black man had been shot to death. That's number one. That has caused the situation to be less volatile and there's less anger and less resentment going on in the streets, and people tend to be a little bit calmer now. I can imagine if you were sitting at home in Los Angeles, California, if I walked outside and there was SWAT team and police and SWAT team gears and up on top of, with the military shooting rifles pointed at me, I would be scared to death. And I would go, what the hell is going on? Well, that's what's going on in towns where people are just expressing their resentment. There was no violence, there was no situation that took place that called for that behavior, nothing. So apparently after many people had something to say, the president said something about it today, I do believe quite a few people had something to say, they backed down the military, strong military force presence that was there in Ferguson. I'm actually watching it live right now. It's there's still unrest, people are still unhappy, and rightfully so. The second point I wanted to bring to your attention today is the fact that they have had now several witnesses come forward, and there is an attorney representing these witnesses, and their stories, all taken differently at different times, almost are identical. And the story goes basically like this. I do believe he was pulling the young man in his car, trying to pull the young man in his car, and the young man got backing away, and he raised his hands, and he was in position as if to surrender himself, that there was nothing on him or whatever, and the officer started shooting. There was another young man with him, and the other young man with him stated this also, that the young man that was shot to death turned around and started to run and tried to get away after the first shot, and then he kept shooting and he fell to the ground and died. This has been witnessed by the man who was next to him, which said that at the time his legs became like lead, and he was so filled with fear he couldn't even move. And there was an expert witness, a scientist, that said that that's basically a fear response that takes place, and he would not have been able to have known that unless he truly did experience that. And then there was a female who saw this from a distance also, and related the same facts. So now we're looking at a situation where a team of lawyers have gotten together and analyzed some of the events that have taken place, and it looks like this could be called first-degree murder. And the reason for first-degree murder is premeditated. Does not have to be years or months or hours. It can be done in several minutes. If within several minutes somebody decides they're going to shoot you and kill you and shoot you to death, that's first-degree murder. So that's number 2 tonight. Right now I'm watching breaking news that's being covered on Ferguson this evening, and there are still quiet protests. There are people, obviously there's some noise and resentment and things like that, but it's peaceful. I do believe that the SWAT team is still no longer on the scene, which is a good thing. I don't know why we need a SWAT team out to pointed at the citizens when their job is to protect the citizens, not to shoot them to death. So you know where my feelings stand on that. Anyways, that's the news for this evening, just in case you didn't have a chance to catch it. You can always catch it here every night. My name is Gigi Jacobs, the Dynamic Liberal, and I hope you have a good evening tonight.